But when Slamdance started, it was started by a bunch of filmmakers, wild filmmakers, who really didn't have much of a clue on really how to do anything other than to try and get through their first features. We had no idea on how to put on a film festival. And there we were, we turned up to Park City in 1995, and somehow we got it together and had the first Slamdance. It was only supposed to be one edition. And here we are all these years later in the DGA presenting Slamdance 2026. The one thing that has allowed that to happen is essentially being an artist-led community. Artists themselves get to decide on what we program at Slamdance. All of the films here at the festival this year have been programmed by filmmakers who've come to Slamdance before to show their work, and this is an opportunity for them then in programming to pay it forward and to support filmmakers to come. And this is, I think, what makes today really special in combining with NonDē. So there is a tradition here, I think, that we can already agree upon. One is in its fledgling stage, and Slamdance is now a mature or artist-run organization. But when it comes to supporting, launching, developing filmmakers' careers, independent filmmaking communities or non-dependent filmmaking communities can really do it themselves. And that, I think, by coming together today with NonDē, we're stronger together. I'm so excited to hear about the ideas, how we can work forward together in supporting each other and to build careers today here. And before we get going, I do want to just thank all of the NonDē speakers. It is a collective movement, and I know Ted is always very keen to point out that it's not me leading this. But that said, I do want to thank Ted very much, because I've had the honor, the pleasure of listening to Ted, and I can let you know he's put so much care and energy into today. I just want to thank you very much, Ted, and welcome up Ted Hope.
Okay, now I think, okay, since that took 2 of my minutes, I'm gonna have to be really fast. So, I hate panels. I go to film festivals all the time. I've always wanted to disrupt the panel culture, right? So this is my intent to do it. So we're gonna follow through with a lot of strict rules, right? I'm not break through now just the outline of the day. Did I give a QR code too?
Yep, next slide.
Oh, great. Okay, just so I want you to know, my gift to all of you for coming, to the degree you want to also pay it back, is I think it's a 58% discount on my newsletter for an annual subscription. So there's a QR code that will cost you $25. If you don't have $25 to spend on it, or you don't think it's worth it, just write me a note and say you're not worth $25, or I don't have the money, and I'll give you one. But there's reasons why that I don't have time to go into why I really think you always want to pay for things. You don't want to give your movies away for free, and you want to make sure that you pay it back to those that give to you. So if you can, that's great. If you can't, I understand. So to destabilize, disrupt the panel culture of film festivals, this is a very strict day of 19 presentations. None will be over 10 minutes, right? You will hear playoff music of a exclusively punk rock soundtrack that at about 9:30 will start to fade up, and 10 o'clock is going to be loud and raucous, and you're not allowed, your mic is shut off. And if you're not, we have death in the house that is going to start off, right? So, 19 speakers across 7 sections, right? At the end of each of those sections, we have the NonDē conversationalist facilitator, which I'm part of too, Franklin Leonard, Courtney Romano, and we're going to have a 15-minute conversation. This is not a panel, and you'll see, with the presenters of each of those 7 sections, right? Now, we're going to be a little loose on that 15. It can't go over 15, But if we're feeling generous, we'll give some of our minutes to the audience, because we've only allocated essentially 5 minutes, enough for one question per section. Now, thus, ask me a question, there's a few rules. And actually, I want Franklin to come up here and tell us how we ask questions and what the alternatives.
So your first sentence should be a question. There should not be a second sentence. And as a warning, for those of you who've interacted with me on Twitter, I am capable of being an asshole. And I will be if your question does not come in that form.
But at the end of the question, if you think that was a good question, I want you to acknowledge it with a loud show of support, because every good question, provided there's not more than 8 of them, I brought gifts for. And we'll see what they are. So I've got a nice gift, a goodie bag takeaway from my life in cinema for each and every one that has a good question, as long as there's not more than 8. At the end of these 7 sections, I'll try to give an ending summation. I want to show how you, all of you, have blossomed my mind. So I want to see the future, I want to have hope for film, and I want to share some of those little takeaways, and I'll try to capture that. But afterwards, because I will fail, we will have drinks. We will have a cocktail hour. So lunch, cocktail hour. Next year, hopefully one of you will have found a gold mine, and we'll sponsor breakfast. So it could be breakfast, lunch, and cocktails along the way. But we're thankful today that can happen thanks to Francis Coppola. And just so you know that, he was, I think, the first person ever to, from the industry, to just call me unsolicited and say, "Hello, Ted, this is Francis Ford Coppola." And I said, "Fuck you, who are you?" And I hung up. And he called back and he told James Chambers and I that he liked what we were doing, could he take us to lunch. So, like, this man has lived that life for a long time, loving cinema, as I know you do too. So real quick, what the sections are, just so you can keep them in your mind, are essentially, I'm going to start with my overview. Second will be the cinema making mindset and approach. We have one interloper in that group because some people have time commitments of their other lives, and we just could fit so much in. Not really an interloper, a filmmaker too, but it would have gone better in the next section, but so be it, which is better approaches to distribution. That's number 3. 4 is new views on exhibition. Because distribution is such a naughty, N-O-T-T-Y, subject these days, they're going to have a second section on the new process of distribution. 6 will be time to rethink television and all streaming platforms. And 7 is the system we are in and how we can change it. That's 7 sections, 19 speakers, no more than 10 minutes each. Man, I don't know how I'm going to now go into my piece. I'm already sweating. But that's it.